Hi everyone, I'm back doing another altered file folder pouch. I did one for my granddaughter Amelia, and her brother Justin wanted one. His only stipulation was that the colours had to be blue, grey and purple. So I've just gessoed a manila folder, that's what we call them here, and I'm taking some Tim Holtz stamps from the Bitty Grunge stamp set and pretty much just getting down some layers is all I'm doing. And I'm just doing the inside section where you will see. I used quite a lot of paints on this folder, so rather than me rabbiting on about nothing, I will put some background music on until I start doing something else. But really lots of shading of blues, grey and purple. You don't tend to see a lot of the texture. Well, you do in certain areas. A lot of it's getting covered up with lots of layers of paint. Oh, I'm still going with the stamping. I thought it needed a bit of script. This is a Hero Arts Friendship writing script. It's a very pretty stamp. So here we go. Adding the paint, and this one is Mars Black. All the names of the paint colours that I'll use are going to be on the screen anyway for you to know, for you to see. And I'm just doing swipes of them everywhere, and I'm pretty much going to colour the whole of the folder. So I'll just put on some background music and come back when I've got something more exciting. So now I've finished painting and I'm going to add some more texture. So I've just taken a Crafter's Workshop stencil called Chicken Wire Reversed using violet acrylic paint just to give it a bit of contrast. And now taking some gesso and adding some circles because that's what I do. That's a Hero Arts sketch circle stamp. Love this stamp. Don't know where I got it from. I've had it for years. And using some Serene acrylic paint over a Crafter's Workshop stencil called Mod Checkerboard, just for a bit more texture. So I just wanted stripes. And now coming in with some night sky acrylic paint over the tile texture stencil by the Crafter's Workshop. Love this stencil for texture. And some more blue Danube acrylic over Tim Holtz stripes layering stencil. I don't think I added any black, and that's because the violet was dark enough for contrast, I thought. Alright, background done. Now we're going to make it pop. So I've just taken the Perfect Trim square ruler and I'm outlining it, tracing it with an Inktense pencil, but I end up using a lead pencil later on. So I need different sizes of squares for this, and I chose squares because I always do circles. I thought, okay, squares will be okay. So that's a Sizzix die set called Squares. And I do this on all surfaces of the folder. So this is a very time consuming part of the process. Well, maybe the next part is. So I now use some ocean acrylic paint and I paint around all those squares. And this is where I realised that the Inktense pencil was activating and discolouring the blue there. So I decided that I would use a lead pencil after that. It doesn't matter because I go around all the squares later on anyway. I think I did this project, there it is there with the blue. You can still see at this stage the background elements. I did this project over 4 days. That's how long it took me, just in a couple of hour blocks. And there was also time for drying between coats and later on between sprays of Krylon and then layers of matte medium. Alright, that done. I now add some more square shapes just behind the first lot because that shows all the layers, the original layers. So now I'm taking some Serene Chalky Finish acrylic paint which has a grey undertone. So I've kept to the requirements with the blue, the grey and the purple. So I think the next colour I use is Prussian blue. So I'll just put some background music on while I go through this process before the next stage. So now I'm going to make it pop a bit more, and I'm going around all of the squares with some water soluble wax pastels. And the first one I'm using is violet, so that goes around all the first set of squares. I just pat my finger, just wipe it lightly on a wet baby wipe, and that helps to blend that pastel. And I wasn't too concerned about being painting inside the lines, because I knew this step was coming and I could hide it. And now I used a grey portfolio, but it didn't stand out too well, so then I decided to use the Prussian blue. It was a lot better. Oh, that pastel ended up breaking in half because I was pressing too hard on it. I love Prussian blue, and I love the colour of it on the borders of journal pages, so I'm going to have to find me some more. Don't know that you can buy them individually. And so I'm going to finish off with some white between the Prussian blue and the serene, I think it is, colour. Now, who'd have thought that it'd end up like that, with all those squares, all those layers of paints initially. Probably not necessary, but anyway, Justin likes it. So I gave it 3 coats of workable fixative before I then started applying some matte medium, and I think I did a couple of coats of that as well, just because I didn't want the folder to stick together and be sticky and have paper that he puts inside stick and get ruined. So now I'm just piercing the holes. I'm coming in 1/4 of an inch from the edge and piercing a hole every 1/4 of an inch, and I end up sewing it together the same way I did Amelia's, which was with embroidery thread, but I used 3 strands of the thread this time, and then I ended up putting a couple of charms on it for him, just a key and a bell, and he liked those charms, so yeah, that was, thank goodness. Yeah, I found out that 6 layers would not thread through the eye of the needle that I had, so I had to end up using 3. I tied a knot in it and came through the inside to hide that knot and started on the blanket stitch. So if you want to see how I do finish off and add the charms, you can go watch the folder I did for Amelia, and I'll put the link above for you and in the description box below. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll be back next week with a journal page. Okay, bye.